Good morning and welcome to Unfiltered Vision News. Good morning and welcome to Unfiltered Vision News, bringing you the news unfiltered Monday through Friday. My name is Dr. Ashaki Noni Nichols and I will be your host. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning. With that, let's get into honoring God with our body. I do apologize for any of the delay in the internet, but God, please guard our mind and our thoughts. Help us to fix our thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely, and that are excellent and worthy of praise. God, please protect our ears and help us listen to your voice. God, help us to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. God, please protect our eyes from sin's damage. God, we make a covenant with our eyes not to look lustfully. God, please speak life over our mouth. God, set a guard over our mouths. Lord, keep watch over the doors. Serve generously. God, help us to do good to everyone and especially to those who belong to our family in the faith. God, please protect our reproductive organs and help us to honor you, God, with purity. God, help us to honor you with our bodies. And God, please protect our feet as we walk along your path. God, let your word be a lamp to our feet and a light on our path. Yes, I try to say that. Trying to get back into it because for a while, it's transitioning, trying to recalibrate the show. Can I get this in? Can I get that in? Yeah, because I'm here for a good time, but not necessarily a long time, right? No longer doing the longer format. So, with that, let's get into our trending topics on X. And there's just I'm not going to get into the depth of the story. I think I'm just going to read the highlights today because there's some more things I want to get into. But apparently, there was an RCMP officer. He cleared beachgoers at exact sunset in British Columbia. I'm not sure what that means. But there was a man charged with the death penalty in Atlanta, train stabbing of a great grandmother. So a couple of days ago, I did read to you guys that there was an attack on the MARTA train, and then the man gave himself over, and now he's being charged with the death penalty. Wow, interesting how things move so fast. And amen, Spud McKenzie. Thank you so much for your response. And then LA County defends helicopter ballot transport as routine procedure. Huh? Why are you transporting ballots by helicopter? What? The nonsense going on in Los Angeles is just beyond the pale. Well, okay, audio's still good. All right, we're still all right. We're still okay. It's just sorry. There are things I just have to check. Things I have to check. I am just really not sure. Let me turn that off. Okay. Yeah, that's much better. Anything to get rid of the delays. But this is I guess it's a art I won't say an article, but, Live Now, sponsored by Fox. I wanted to check out this story that was happening in California. Now, I wanna give a little teeny background. So, the house of this person is in Newport Beach. The reporter is reporting from Santa Ana. Now, technically, there are parts of Santa Ana and Costa Mesa that kind of they're close to Newport Beach, but they're not in direct proximity, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to give a little background of that as we talk about what's happening.
U.S. citizen and a CEO of a tech company has been arrested on federal charges for allegedly running a massive decade-long scheme to smuggle out sophisticated U.S. computer networking and encryption equipment to Iran's military. I do want to put this up here from the New York Post saying, the Iranian tech boss arrested at a $35 million SoCal mansion on charges of selling U.S. hardware to Iranian military and nuclear programs. So a major bombshell development in all of this. The U.S. Attorney for L.A., Bill Esseley, saying CEO of the Iran tech company arrested on federal charges, equipment to the Iran's nuclear and military establishment going on for quite some time. Our Fox 11 team did do a report on it. Let's listen into this.
All right, we have other news right here. Developing now. The owner of this Newport Beach mansion is now in federal custody, accused of smuggling sophisticated U.S. technology to Iran's military and nuclear program. Fox 11's Nick Garcia joining us from the federal courthouse in Santa Ana with what he's learned about the case. Nick.
Right, Christine. Jamshid Gomi is that man's name. He appeared here in court just hours after being arrested, but bail has not been set. That hearing was pushed to tomorrow afternoon. That means he'll be spending tonight behind bars. Newport Coast Mansion, the center of a federal raid Wednesday morning. Agents combing through the rooms just hours after the feds arrested 63-year-old Jamshid Gomi. Prosecutors say Gomi smuggled complex American networking and encryption equipment to Iran's military and nuclear sector. Investigators also accused Gomi of international money laundering, saying he falsified records to move more than $15 million into the U.S. The IRS Criminal Investigation Unit says Gomi reported just $20,000 in annual income and even claimed a tax credit for low-income families for 7 years, though his mansion is valued at $35 million. This case comes less than 2 months after this woman, Shamim Mafi of Woodland Hills, was arrested at LAX for allegedly trafficking arms for Iran. She is still being held in federal custody. The Department of Justice says this most recent arrest is part of an effort to stop the illegal flow of American technology to foreign nations. Now, Gomi faces up to 20 years in federal prison. Of course, that is if he is convicted. First Assistant U.S. Attorney Bill Esseley says Gomi's assets, including that mansion, have been seized. Live in Santa Ana, I'm Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
I wonder if they're going to get him on tax evasion. I'm just like, how are you claiming you're only making 20 grand a year and living in a 35 mil? Like, how are you affording all of this? Huh? Yeah, crime ain't paying, y'all. Crime is not paying. The next thing I wanted to get into is this whole thing with Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Hakeem Jeffries. Now, I'm not going to play the entire video, but here's the crux of the matter. Hakeem Jeffries is like, we need to make sure we have Black representation. I don't like this gerrymandering going on. And then the newly created district that is actually the seat was vacated due to legal issues, right? Debbie Wasserman Schultz was like, I'm just running that district as opposed to running in the district I'm already in. Why? Oh, that's right, because it was redrawn and there's actually going to be more Republican support than Democratic support. And you actually have a fight in your hands. Why don't you fight? Why don't you stay and fight where you are? Why are you coming over here? It's sad because the Democratic Party has put themselves in a position now where other people that are like, well, I'm established. It's almost like, so what? Does that give you privilege to run in an area where you really haven't supported Black people? You've supported issues within the Democratic Party, but you have not supported the American Negro at all. And now you're mad because you're like, well, I have this and I have that. And people do not care right now. I'm finding this implosion really, really interesting. Let's get into it.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course, it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you these stories every day. Now, y'all, if you have been following our channel, you know that way down in Florida, there is a seat that was, I guess we should say, former. To take a look at what your boy Hakeem Jeffries had to say about that. And also we'll give you some additional background on this controversy, y'all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
Schultz is running in Florida's 20th district. A number of Black political leaders in the state have said this threatens Black representation in Florida. Do you support her run in that district? What's your response to this criticism?
Haven't made a decision as it relates to that particular race. Everybody has a right to run where they see fit. They got to go make their case to the people that they hope to represent moving forward. And that's what I've communicated directly to Congresswoman Wasserman Schultz. Obviously, she has a strong track record of accomplishment here in the Congress and on behalf of the people that she's represented over the years in Florida. At the same period of time, I think we all recognize the sensitivities of the moment in terms of an unprecedented Jim Crow-like assault on Black political representation that has been unleashed by the Supreme Court's outrageous decision to gut the Voting Rights Act. And it's an environment that all of us need to be sensitive to as we move forward.
So there you see what Hakeem Jeffries had to say. You know, he did the same thing with Zohran Mamdani. He was very reluctant to endorse him. He only endorsed him at the last hour, basically. And what is old Hakeem gonna do here, y'all? Does he go with somebody who's probably gonna be the most effective representative with her tenure, and presumably her having been in the House longer would give her more connections, maybe more knowledge? She was the leader of the whole Democratic Party at one point, for goodness sake. Or is he gonna shy away from that due to, let's say, some pressures, some external pressures, people saying, hey man, don't betray us. You know what I mean? But Hakeem Jeffries is not the only one on the hot seat about this, y'all. Many people have come out and spoken out against Debbie Wasserman Schultz running for this position.
It's official. Florida Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz is entering the race for the state's 20th congressional district, a seat held by Black lawmakers for the last 3 decades. Her announcement drawing pushback from those who are now questioning why she's seeking a seat with deep roots in the Black community. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten is your reporter live in Lauderdale Lakes with reaction. Ted?
Yeah, Lauren, there are 6 Black candidates and Debbie Wasserman Schultz now in this race for District 20. And candidates are not mincing words. They are furious that Wasserman Schultz decided to run in this district.
Today, I'm announcing my candidacy for re-election in Congressional District 20.
When Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz announced that she's running in the newly created District 20, it set off a firestorm in the party and within the African-American community. Sheila Sherfilis McCormick held the seat until she resigned during an ethics investigation. She's running again.
You should run where you feel like you're most compatible. And the truth is, you know, today I watched the video and a lot of my constituents sent it, and the one question they all said to me, what is her why? Why this district?
This area has been held by black lawmakers for 34 years. It's a crowded field. Many who are running say black voices and representation need to be protected.
Now, I told you that the black political class had warned. They had warned Wasserman Schultz, don't do it. Don't do it, y'all. You think she listened? First, let's just take a look at a pretty straightforward warning and the reasoning behind it. Now, whether you agree or disagree, this is the reasoning that the black political class in Florida gave to Wasserman Schultz not to run for this particular office. And as you already see, she didn't listen. Y'all, this is going to be a major problem. Let's take a look at this warning.
Running in that seat, which means Wasserman Schultz will be counting on her opponents in the primary, splitting up the African-American vote and allowing her to become the nominee. The Broward County Democratic Black Caucus has asked Wasserman Schultz not to run for that seat, and it is clear that if she did run, it would turn into an ugly and potentially racial affair.
I did talk to her. She explained to me how important seniority is in Congress, and we want to keep her in Congress. But we're just asking her to consider running in the district that she was drawn into, or even in the coastal district where Moskowitz says he's going to run, where it's predominantly Jew. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Moskowitz, it's like they're vying to protect their seats. And what we're saying is we've been an ally. We've been a supporter. We want to have someone with our lived experience. Let our community kind of decide through the voting process who that person is going to be.
Well, let me.
So as we already showed you in a previous video, y'all,
Okay. I will leave the link below so you can watch the rest of the video. But as you can see, everybody's split because here's the deal. The Democratic Party have cannibalized themselves at this point. I don't know if you guys see it. I see it politically, the cannibalization, because they ran so strong on, we need to always vote for black people. We need to always do this. Now that the districts have been rewritten, what? And Spud McKenzie says the black Democrats will split their vote because they aren't all on one accord. Exactly. They can't even choose one candidate to endorse. And I'm like, y'all need to have a meeting. There's 6 of you. Have a meeting and decide who has the best shot at winning the district, and all of your votes go to that person. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, if that's what you want, then do that. But wouldn't that be seen as mutiny in the Democratic Party? Right. We have to look at this as, full high level, low level. Okay. She's like, well, I have seniority, and ma'am, nobody cares about your seniority. If this is about real representation, not you saving your seat because you want to save your seat, then you need to leave. You shouldn't even be in District 20. You're there because if you run against the people in your own district where it was rewritten, you'll lose. That's it. That's what this is about. And the infighting, it has just begun, in my opinion. So I outlined, where her support was for the black community, and I'll let you guys go through that later. But I just want to go down to this other question. I said, is there any standout legislation? Like, did she actually write any legislation to actually help the black community? The answer is no. There's no single standout landmark piece of legislation defines Debbie Wasserman Schultz work specifically on black community issues. Her record is more characterized by consistent Democratic voting alignment and co-sponsorships rather than leading major race-specific bills, which means, again, she doesn't care about representing that community. She just wants the seat. That's it. That's all this is coming back to. It's sad. It's happening, though. Because now, like I said, the melanated people down there, because I'm not going to call everybody an American Negro because I'm not sure. They're like, hey, we don't want you representing us because you're not going to represent us. You're still going to represent the people that you've been representing and making sure that they're okay. You don't care about what we want, what we need in this district. Oh, I'm telling you, it's gonna get hot and heavy. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Not that I'm looking forward to the fallout, but I see it coming, and it's really sad. Now let's move on to all sides, and let me. Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. I was just reading all of that, and I didn't even bring it up. I went in, and but because it says Debbie is only pro-Israel and not pro-Black Americans, she's not. And here's my thing. Whatever, see, this is where the Democratic Party and even the Republican Party can do it to themselves. They get in trouble when they decide, okay, I'm just going to go in on this niche demographic, right? And then when they try to say, well, I'll represent you too. I just want to be here. I just need to maintain the power in the seat to help you. That means they're not going to help you at all because she's more focused on her power and her tenure. And people seem to forget that she was caught in a very major scandal back with Hillary Clinton, where they were caught by the DNC, by the way, where she was under investigation. I'm not sure why she's not in prison right now. And she was allowed back in Congress. Oh, everybody forget about that. Well, we'll go over that later. But I'm just saying. Now, let's get on to all sides. So there's new Gallup poll show decline in support for LGBTQ plus issues. Yeah, there was definitely going to be a decline. Because see, there was a point in time in our day where people knew people were living alternative lifestyles and nobody really cared, right? They were just like, look, don't tread on me. Don't mess with my children. But then there was this whole Defense of Marriage Act that happened. And then it was like, you better support this and you have to do that. And we have to teach children. And everybody was like, what are you talking about? This is why there's pushback now. And it's going to continue. Oh, you think there's the decline now? Oh, it's coming. So support for LGBTQ plus issues, including same-sex marriage and gender transition, have declined among Americans, according to a new Gallup poll. Yeah, because everybody's tired of being forced to be in a cult. That's why. So while a majority of Americans, 65%, still support same-sex marriage, the percentage has dropped 6% from the peak in 2022 and 2023. Who was in office during that time? 62% of Americans also said gay and lesbian relations were morally acceptable, the lowest point since 2016, and 38% said they viewed changing one's gender as morally acceptable, an 8% decline over the past 5 years, driving the decline of Republicans' shifting attitudes towards LGBTQ plus issues, according to Gallup. Here's the thing. Live your life. And once you become an adult, if that's a decision you want to make, in my opinion, you shouldn't be able to get those surgeries here. The government shouldn't be paying for it. And they need to go back to the standard of it takes over a decade before you can even consider a procedure like that. Now they're just going in and chopping people up. And there was actually a case won by an individual, and they awarded her $2 million and went after the doctor that performed the surgery. And that's going to continue to happen as this decline in support happens. So that is our update from all sides. Now, the next one I wanted to get into these budgets in Los Angeles and also in New York. So let's start with Los Angeles. Let me get to the right tab. Okay, so here is the budget for, I was wanting to make it bigger. There we go, but not too big where you guys can't see it. Oops. For Los Angeles. I wanted to go back to the first page. Sorry, you guys. Let's go back. I wanted you to kind of see how they were setting up their budget and what kind of things they were looking at. So here's their budget, and I will definitely have links to this so you guys can see what they're spending money on, because the overarching situation here is Mayor Bass proposes a $14.85 billion balanced budget. That's the budget for the city. $14.85 billion. Okay, continuing to drive down homelessness. Homelessness has actually increased in Los Angeles. It is that they're like, it's down by 18% because people probably died or got out of homelessness. Okay, increasing funding to address RV encampments. Huh? If people have nowhere to go, they have nowhere to go. What are you talking about? Increasing funding for oversight, transparency, and accountability. Really? So you're going to spend more money on failure? You failed. You have failed the people of the city of Los Angeles completely. Completely. So let's look at the adjustments that they want to make. So here are the adjustments. The department funds are controlled at the line item or account level. Okay, to assist the mayor and city council in their consideration of interim budget adjustments. CAO prepares, okay, this is a bunch of standard language like this is what we're planning to do. I want some numbers because this is nonsense. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was going to be kind of turned upside down. I just wanted to see where some things were at. So like senior services. Okay, so senior services are going down because it was at 1.3 in 2022 to 2023. Then it went up a little bit 2023, 2024. It declined 24 to 25, and it's declined again in the proposed budget. So you're going to take the money away from the seniors, right? Family care services program. It went up, okay, but it's less than it was in 2022. Okay, number of contracts regarding caregiver needs was at 22,000. That's now going to be down to 1,500. That's a swing, y'all. So either something happened or they figured out that people were scamming. I'm just saying, I'm like, how do you go from 22,000 in caregiver needs to like 1,500? Insane. Animal services. What? Yeah, that's in the budget. So when these are the things you guys got to look at, right? And what's happening. Now the city clerk, number of records reviewed, okay. They did some good things. City elections and business improvement districts, the number of annual planning reports submitted. They're projected to submit 35 reports. Huh? What? Number of outreach events held to increase voter awareness. Why are y'all doing that? The city shouldn't be doing that. It's a different when outside, maybe I'm trying to think. Nonprofits do it and they're creating awareness. Why does the city have that in their budget? And why are you spending the people's money like that when you have homelessness that is out of control? Now, here we go. Number of documents being processed by the mayor. Okay, city planning. So this is like a lot of their little document things. I'm like, all right. Tourism and leisurely. Okay. I'm trying to get to some numbers. Where's the money going? Right? We want to know where the money's going. But for sake of time, this is Los Angeles's budget. Okay. Now this is the budget for New York. Let me see how I can turn. Okay, I just got to scroll up for their pages. They're not as fancy. In LA, looking like a whole book is turning. This is regular PDF. This is how it should be. You spending money on the fancy and y'all are dead broke. Okay. Interesting. So the city's economic outlet, the national economy. Why are you looking at the national economy as a city? Why? Why? This is crazy. Okay, changes in the financial plan since January. Let's see what that means. Let's see. It reflects an increase of 3.3 billion over the city's January plan, the primary result of 2.2 billion more in projected city fund revenues with similar increases in federal and state grant revenues. Okay. Again, it's still tax dollars. Why isn't the city making money by bringing businesses in? Not to necessarily overtax those businesses, but what it does is it generates jobs. Those jobs generate more spending in your city, and people can actually spend if you're not taxing them into oblivion. Okay. These are some of the things that we just have to look at in the budget. So they're just looking at tax revenues, non-tax revenues. Where's the taxes that where you're taxing, the businesses? Services for asylum seekers, expense reduction. So that's in the budget, y'all. If you're in New York, this is in the budget. This says this is supposed to be a negative, so it's down something, but it doesn't say what it was. And that was in 25, and this is now 26. So this right here, this is Mandani's budget. This was Eric Adams over here. So yes, things have gone down, which is good, but why are people paying for asylum seekers? But why did this number go up? This is pensions. Huh. So it was down 36, now it's down 104, or it went up. That's weird. I don't know if that means up or down. I don't know. Because I'm like, okay, if this is at a negative, then that's negative. That went down, but that number went up, but it's still at a negative? Huh? Why are pensions even a line item? You shouldn't be messing with people's pensions, period. But you are. And these are the crazy things that are happening. So I will definitely leave the links here for you guys so you can look more into it, and the executive summary, right, from the comptroller there. And definitely take a look and see how much these people are getting paid within these cities. It definitely comes back to the fiscal responsibility of the mayor to ensure that any type of generated revenue, whether that's from taxes or the business taxes or anything, that it's spent efficiently and properly. You're not getting your free buses. The free grocery stores are going to completely dismantle the revenue generating stores that are there already. Socialism doesn't work. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't work. But New York, this is what you voted for. We are praying for you. And I really do hope out of all of this that people can sway the mayor to make better decisions moving forward. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here on Unfiltered Vision News. We will be back tomorrow for Prayer with Friday, so we can definitely pray about all of this. So thank you so much for joining me here, and we will see you tomorrow. And remember, stay well, stay focused, and stay unfiltered. We'll see you in the next one.